Alright, so as we now get to the interface of this keypad, I'm going to go over some of these on-screen icons. So here we have our arm away button. You can just click this button and put this system into arm. Disarm with the code as usual. So off to the right we have our state button, our zone status. So this lets you know the status of the zone, if a zone is open or not. Notice no zone 1 open. And you can choose to bypass the zone at will if you choose to, unbypass it if you choose to. So as we go back, we have the chime to enable and disable the chime. Just press that once. You have your output. This can be used for resetting smoke detectors. You have your quick exit, which is a way to quickly disarm the system for 2 minutes and it automatically rearm by itself. You have this photo button here, which we don't have an SD in there, but if you had an SD you can scroll through the photos on your SD card. So off to the right we have the DSC logo. We also have the time, date, and you have this trouble icon, so you can press the trouble and see what issues you have. I have a module supervisory trouble. Let's go back and output here again. This should mimic the other output, and here you have your option. You have your emergency key, so you can press and hold any of these for 2 seconds and it'll put the system into alarm. If we go back to option, let's go back. Notice we have our access info, our installer, user function, keypad configuration, chime again, partition, and keypad mode. So with the keypad mode, you can use this basically as the same as the LCD keypad, which most users will probably have. And this function is fine as well. This is more for the people who's not comfortable with navigating through this touch panel. So as we press back, partition status, we can select whichever partition we choose to based on how many partitions we have enabled in the system. So this is very useful to tell which status a partition is in. Maybe partition 6 is armed or disarmed and you want to arm it. So that part is very useful. So as it times out, just press the option and get back into that. Under here we have our keypad configuration. So we have display option here, which you can choose to turn on the clock mode, and I'll show you what that is in a second. So if we decide to enable the clock mode, I'll show you in a second what that would do. And here you have your brightness and you have the screen is off after 20 seconds. So as we press back, I'll show you what the clock mode does. So notice the clock mode. This is real nice. This is one feature I think that I'll be using in the future with this system, because I really like to be able to just see what time it is as I'm walking by the keypad. So I find that very useful. Some people may not want to see the keypad at all, which is fine too. So we can go turn that back off by going on the keypad configuration and display option, turn on blank mode. As we go back, we have the clock mode here, which you can press that and that'll put it into clock mode. So we have our calibration mode here. If we click calibrate, as the instruction is on the screen, press and hold this for 2 seconds to activate the target. This is to fine-tune your calibration area on the keypad, which is fine. Okay, you have your picture frame. I really like this section because I don't like pictures on the wall, so I don't mind seeing them on the touch panel. I find it really cool. So notice, no photo is found because obviously we don't have an SD card in, but here's where you can select your photos, which is very nice, and you can set up the frame timeout, and you can also set up the transition between one photos and the other. You have your buzzer control based on how you like your volume. Notice it goes down. So we like that up. Go back to the home page. Let's see, you have the classic and you have contemporary. So let's enable contemporary and see what contemporary look like. So with the contemporary mode, here's what this looks like on the keypad. It's not too bad. I think I like the other way better, but it's not too bad. And so as we're on the home page right now, we can select option again and we'll go into user function, and let's say 1 2 3 4 is the user. If you click on user option, press the user code. So as you notice, you have the date time system, auto arm, and a couple other functions within this user function section, which worth taking a look over to get familiar with it. Next, you have your installer menu. As we press the installer menu, so which is nice. With this keypad, you have your zone labeling, and here's where you can do all your labeling, and which this keypad actually make it so much nicer to program via the keypad versus the regular LCD. And you can also do keypad function, and you have background image, you have home function, firmware upgrade, and options. So as you press back, we go all the way back out. I mean, that's the basics on the keypad, pretty simple. So one other feature I like to show you on the keypad as well is if you for some reason go into a menu, you can easily just press this button here and it bring you back to the home menu. So this should sum it all up. This is the basics on the keypad. Pretty straightforward. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button, guys, and I'll appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.